Brain of Britain, the nationwide general knowledge contest, chaired by Russell Davis.
Thank you. Hello. You join us in Salford today, where for the next half hour, another 4 contenders will be making their bid to become Brain of Britain 2019. General knowledge questions await them on a wide and unpredictable range of topics, and another of our semi-final places is at stake. Let's meet today's brains.
Hello, I'm Peter Baber. I'm a journalist from Todmorden.
Hello, I'm Colin Foster, a chartered accountant from Warrington.
Hello, I'm David Love, a financial planner from Wombourne near Wolverhampton.
Hello, I'm Olivia Woollley. I'm a university lecturer in law from Aberdeen.
A very warm welcome to all 4 of you. As always, we'll go around in alphabetical surname order, and if you can't answer or you get your own question wrong, I'll open it up to the others to take the point. There's a strong element of luck involved, of course, because it's nearly always down to how the questions fall on the day. So, good luck, everyone. Would you take today's first question, please, Peter Baber? The radiation belts that were discovered in 1958 using data transmitted by the Explorer satellite are named after which US physicist?
I think it's Van someone, but I don't know.
Fair enough. Okay. Colin Foster.
Van Allen.
Van Allen is the name. Yes, indeed. Your question then. 2 English cities stand on the River Wear. Can you name them both?
Durham and Sunderland.
That's right. Sunderland has been officially a city since 1992. In 1993, which artist, famous for her cast sculptures, became the first woman to win the Turner Prize?
Rachel White-Read.
Exactly so. What is the one-word title of the poem by Felicia Dorothea Hemans, which begins, "The boy stood on the burning deck, whence all but he had fled"?
Casablanca. HMS Casablanca.
Okay, I have to give you that. It's actually Casabianca with an I. The battle was the Battle of the Nile, 1798. And Casabianca was a commander, a ship's commander, who was the father of the boy. Which part of a plant is contained within the testa?
The roots.
No. Olivia Woollley?
Stamen?
No. Any guesses? Yes, David Love?
Each part of a plant. Stigma.
No. Peter Baber?
Is it a bulb?
It's not a bulb, no, it's the seed. David Love, Ambleside sits at the northern tip of which British lake?
Windermere.
Yeah, that's right. Albert Einstein won the 1921 Nobel Prize for Physics for his investigation of which scientific phenomenon?
It's the photoelectric effect.
It is, for his services to theoretical physics and especially for his discovery of the law of the photoelectric effect. That's what the citation says. Hemispherical, saucer, and umbrella or melon are all types of which architectural feature?
Cupola.
I don't think so. Yes, Peter Baber.
Is it frieze?
No. Olivia Woollley?
Roof?
No. Colin Foster?
Ceiling.
No. The answer is rather simple. It's dome. And I know a cupola is a sort of dome, but you can't apply all those adjectives to a cupola. Olivia Woollley, your question. Who checked into the Swan Hydropathic Hotel in Harrogate in December 1926 under the false name Theresa Neal?
Agatha Christie?
Yes, her disappearance caused a nationwide stir. Neal was the surname of the woman with whom her husband, Archibald Christie, was having an affair at the time. Which British writer is the author of a series of Tudor mystery novels that feature the hunchbacked lawyer Matthew Shardlake? Right, fair enough. Peter Baber?
Is it D.S. Sansom?
The surname will do. You've got the initial. C.J. Sansom is his name. Christopher John Sansom, but that's fair enough. He practiced as a solicitor until a legacy enabled him to take time out to write. Oh, for such a legacy, I cry. End of the first round, and everyone has scored, which is healthy. Peter Baber and Olivia Woollley, 1 apiece. David Love, 2. Colin Foster, 4. All right. Peter Baber, try this one for the beginning of this round. LEDs are now often used in energy-saving light bulbs in place of more traditional incandescent filaments. What do the letters LED stand for?
Lumen-emitting diode.
No. David Love.
Light-emitting diode.
Light-emitting diode. Yes, that's right. It's as simple as that. And Colin Foster now. In a popular TV programme, whom did Kristen Shepherd shoot in 1980?
JR.
Yes, I'll accept J.R. Ewing, of course, yes. Plenty of people watch the show in any case, but the late, great Terry Wogan made it into a major cultural event in the UK. In November 2017, Sarah Clarke became the first woman to be appointed to which parliamentary position?
Black Rod.
Yes, Lady Usher of the Black Rod. The family mausoleum found within the grounds of which English stately home was once described by Horace Walpole as a mausoleum that would tempt one to be buried alive.
Frogmore House.
No. Now, country houses, folks. David Love?
Stourton.
No. Yes, Peter Baber.
Stowe.
It's not Stowe. Olivia Woollley?
Chatsworth.
Nope, it's Castle Howard. Much of the house was designed by Sir John Vanbrugh. The mausoleum was designed by Nicholas Hawksmoor. David Love, we come to your question. The rock band The Doors took their name from which influential 1954 book by Aldous Huxley?
The Doors of Perception.
Yes, about the effects of mescaline. The book by Huxley is in turn named after a quote from a William Blake poem. Consisting of the crust and upper part of the mantle, what is the name given to the outermost shell of the planet Earth, which is separated into tectonic plates?
Geosphere.
No. Colin Foster?
Lithosphere.
It is difficult to say, isn't it? Lithosphere is right, yes. And Olivia Woollley. Recently put up for sale, the historic island fortress in Plymouth Sound that includes a 16th century barracks, a pier, and an underground network of tunnels is named after which seafarer?
Francis Drake.
It would be really, wouldn't it? Yes, it's called Drake's Island. Described by the Woodland Trust as one of the butterfly world's comeback kings, which butterfly is sometimes referred to as a tatyr tortoiseshell, takes its name from the shape of the white marking found on its underwings.
Lady's Veil.
Nope. David Love?
Comma.
It's the comma butterfly, yes. According to the Woodland Trust, it's one of the few species that is increasing its range, probably because of global warming. End of round 2, and these are the scores now. Peter Baber 1, Olivia Woollley 2, David Love 5, Colin Foster 7. Okay. Peter Baber, the next round begins with you again, of course, and we're going to play you some music. Have a listen to this, and I'll ask the question afterward.
1, 2.
Now that was Do the Reggae, spelt with a Y, recorded in 1968, and it's often credited with giving a name to that musical genre. Which Jamaican band was performing there?
Was it Toots and the Maytals?
It was exactly Toots and the Maytals. Well done, yes. 8 of the United States have names which begin with the letter M. Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, and Montana. There is one other letter of the alphabet which is also the initial letter in 8 state names. Which one?
A?
It isn't, I'm afraid. No. Olivia Woollley?
O.
Not O. Colin Foster?
N.
N for nuts it is. The states are Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, and North Dakota. All those news make that answer inevitable, I think, probably. Colin Foster now. Which star, also known as the North Star, Pole Star, Lodestar, and sometimes Guiding Star, has the Latin name Alpha Ursae Minoris?
Little Bear.
No. David Love?
Polaris.
Polaris is right, yes. And it's your question now, David Love. There are churches in London, York, and Exeter known as St. Olave's, with an A, dedicated to the patron saint of which country?
Norway.
After Olaf II, King of Norway, yes. The original lineup of which all-girl pop group of the 1980s consisted of Siobhan Fahey, Sarah Dallin, and Karen Woodward.
I know it's not the Bangles, but it's as good as any.
It was a group, but not them. Colin Foster?
Bananarama.
Bananarama it was, yes, of course, I remember now. Olivia Woollley. The singers Rufus Wainwright and Martha Wainwright are the children of the musician Loudon Wainwright III, and which other Canadian folk singer?
Loretta Lynn.
No. Colin Foster?
Anna McGarrigle.
No. Any more? Yes, Peter Baber?
Emmylou Harris.
No. No more offers, no. You were so close, but it was her sister, Kate McGarrigle, the other half of the duo. And that's the end of another round. Peter Baber and Olivia Woollley have 2 apiece. David Love 7, Colin Foster 9. Okay. Now we've reached a point in the quiz where we give our competitors a breather, and we invite them to consider a pair of questions sent to us by a Brain of Britain listener. We call this Beat the Brains, and our foursome will behave like a quiz team for this bit rather than rivals. The questions we've chosen this week are from listener Simon Hoyle, who emailed brainofbritain@bbc.co.uk, as you can too if you have cunning ideas of your own to try out on the brains. Our listeners do like their pop music trivia, and Simon is no exception. We tried not to use too many questions in this vein, but we did think you might enjoy these. Simon Hoyle asks, firstly, if things had gone just slightly differently, which multi-million-selling rock act formed in the 1960s might have been named the Anderson Council?
Is this the sort of thing where if you don't actually know it, you've got a chance of working it out?
The only thing I'm thinking of, Ian Anderson was the lead singer of Jethro Tull.
And he quite likes being in charge of stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah. Should we go for that? Do you want to decide the answer? Yeah. Jethro Tull.
No, I'm afraid not. The answer is the Pink Floyd. Syd Barrett supposedly came up with the name Pink Floyd in 1965 by combining the forenames of the blues musicians Pink Anderson and Floyd Council. So imagine if he'd gone with the surnames instead, and you get the Anderson Council. Let's go on to question 2. Pink Floyd's best-known album is Dark Side of the Moon from 1973. But which other British band, at the time a real favourite of John Peel's, had released a record with exactly that title the previous year?
Yeah, I'm thinking of the prog rock bands.
Yeah, I think King Crimson.
No. Incredible string bands.
What's that? Orange. Isn't it? Oh, no, Tangerine.
Tangerine Dream.
Yeah.
Could be. Go on.
Go on, yeah, I'm proud of that one. If this is right, I'll admit. You're going to say Tangerine Dream?
No, you should have said Medicine Head, I'm afraid.
Oh, yeah. One is one.
Yeah. Medicine Head, a psychedelic bluesy duo who at one time was signed to John Peel's record label, Dandelion. According to Wikipedia, so fallibility warning, Pink Floyd considered changing the title of Dark Side of the Moon until it became clear that the Medicine Head album wasn't exactly going to be a commercial threat. Thank you, Simon Hoyle. We enjoyed your questions, and the brains didn't solve them, meaning that a book voucher prize will be yours. And from our Salford audience, you also receive this multi-platinum round of applause. You can send us your questions, suggestions at any time using the Contact Us link on our webpage or by writing to us at Brain of Britain, BBC Dock House, Media City, UK, Salford, M50 2LH. We'll do our very best to give you advance notice if we decide to include them in a future edition. Let's resume the contest then. It's back to you for the start of the next round. Peter Baber. Who wrote the novel Jaws?
Peter Benchley.
He did. His other works included The Deep, The Island, and The Beast, about a giant squid. The artist Marcel Duchamp's famous 1917 work, Fountain, widely considered to be one of the most influential pieces of 20th century art, consists of what everyday object resting on its back?
A urinal.
Yes. Known as the Silent Man at his trial, who was the designated treasurer of the great train robbers? He escaped from prison after only 4 months in 1964 and was recaptured 4 years later.
Buster someone. Well, it's Buster. Can't remember.
Nope. Olivia Woollley?
Buster Edwards.
It wasn't Buster Edwards. No, you've been misled. Do you remember any more of them? David Love?
White.
Not
Is it
White. No. Probably the surname would do. Colin Foster? No. Charlie Wilson is the answer. And he was killed by a hitman in 1990 whilst living in Marbella in Spain. Colin Foster, now it's your turn for a clip of music. Have a listen to this.
If I should stay, well, I would only be in your way, and so I'll go, and yet I know that I'll think of you each step of my way. And I will always love you. I will always love you.
Now, Dolly Parton wrote that song when she had decided to leave which fellow country and western star's TV show?
Porter Wagoner.
That's the name, yes. Dolly was part of that hugely popular show for 7 years, from 1967 to 74. Which major American museum is named after the illegitimate son of the first Duke of Northumberland?
Smithsonian.
The Smithsonian Institution, you're right, after James Smithson, the son of Hugh Smithson Percy. What was the final labour of Heracles?
Capturing Cerberus.
To bring up the dog Cerberus from the underworld, yes, I'll give you that. Which novel by Jules Verne is subtitled Journeys and Discoveries in Africa by 3 Englishmen?
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
No, it's not. Can you dredge up any more titles? Peter Baber?
Journey to the Centre of the Earth.
It's not, no. The answer is 5 Weeks in a Balloon, if you recall that one. David Love, what surname is shared by an actress in the TV sitcom Are You Being Served and a character in the sitcom It Ain't Half Hot, Mum?
Sugden.
Yes, well done. You came up with it. Molly Sugden played Mrs. Slocum, and Lofty Sugden was portrayed by the very unlofty Don Estelle. I'd forgotten he was called Sugden altogether. What is the name of the new road bridge over the River Forth that was officially opened by the Queen in 2017?
The second Forth Bridge.
Nope. Does anybody remember? No, I don't think you do. Yes, Colin
Queen
Foster.
Elizabeth II Bridge.
No, that would be a fair guess, but it wasn't right. Peter Baber?
Countess of Sussex Bridge.
No. No, I'll tell you. It was the Queen's Ferry crossing. Okay, Olivia Woollley. The late actor Michael Williams was the husband of which British theatrical star?
Judi Dench.
That's right. They starred together in the TV sitcom A Fine Romance. Michael Williams died in 2001. ABBA's 1976 album featured 3 of their biggest hits, Dancing Queen, Knowing Me, Knowing You, and Money, Money, Money. Its cover depicts the 4 members clad in white jumpsuits sitting in a helicopter. What is the name of this album?
Voyager.
No. Peter Baber.
Arrival.
That's right. It spent 10 weeks at number 1 in the UK album charts. End of another round. Olivia Woollley 3, Peter Baber 5, David Love 8, Colin Foster 12 now. Okay, Peter Baber, try this one for size. In Australia in the 1920s, the Scottish émigré underwear manufacturer Alexander McRae became an early pioneer of what then novel form of clothing?
Was it a bikini?
Yes, all right, I'll give you that. It is swimwear. I've advised to accept swimsuit, swimming costume, beachwear, and that certainly comes among them. Within a few years, his company adopted the name Speedo. Which female saint, along with St. Columba and St. Patrick, is considered one of the 3 great saints of Ireland, or the Trias Thaumaturga?
Is there a St. Bridget? Don't know.
There is a St. Bridget, and she is the one, yes. They've also been called the wonder-working saints. By what nickname is Johnny Storm known in the group of superheroes, the Fantastic Four?
Iron Man. I'm going to count.
No. Colin Foster?
The Human Torch.
He's the Human Torch. We're in the world of Marvel Comics, of course. Colin Foster, your question now. In 2012, aged 82, who became the oldest ever recipient of an Oscar acting award for his role in the film Beginners?
Christopher Plummer.
He did. When accepting the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, he looked down at the statuette and said, "You're only 2 years older than me, darling. Where have you been all my life?" Over the years, a diverse range of actors, including Jack Benny, John Mills, Danny LaRue, and Tom Courtenay, have played the part of a character called Lord Fancourt Babberley, in which 19th century farce is Lord Fancourt Babberley one of the main characters?
She Stoops to Conquer.
No. Yes, Peter
Is
Baber.
it Zuleika Dobson?
It isn't. No. Olivia Woollley.
Charlie's Aunt.
It is Charlie's Aunt, written by Brandon Thomas. It ran for 4 years after its opening in London in 1892. David Love, there's music with your next question. I'd like you to listen and tell me which major river is associated with this piece of music.
Volga.
Yes, there's no disguising it, is there? That was Glenn Miller's arrangement of the famous Song of the Volga Boatman. Tasunko Witko, chief of the Oglala Sioux tribe until his death in 1877, is better known by which 2-word sobriquet?
Sitting Bull.
No. Peter Baber?
Chief Seattle?
No. Any more offers? No. It was Crazy Horse. Crazy Horse. Olivia Woollley. The Isle of Wight has become a major centre in the UK for the growing of Allium sativum. What plant are we referring to?
Garlic.
Yes, they have an annual garlic festival down there. What was the best-known pseudonym of the writer Elizabeth Mackintosh, creator of Police Inspector Alan Grant, who appears in several of her novels? Time out, I'm afraid. Peter Baber?
I think Ngaio Marsh.
Not Ngaio Marsh, no. Yes, David Love?
Dorothy L. Sayers.
No, afraid not. It was Josephine Tay. People always say Tay now. I could have sworn when I were a lad we used to say Josephine T, but it's the same person. Her most famous Grant novel is The Daughter of Time, an investigation into the mystery of the princes in the tower. And that's the end of a round. Olivia Woollley 5, Peter Baber 7, David Love 9, Colin Foster 14. And I have to warn you all now that this is the final round. Coming up, and starting again with you, Peter Baber. Which British actor and writer born in 1985 has won acclaim for writing and creating the TV sitcoms Fleabag and Crashing and the thriller Killing Eve?
Oh, no. Sorry, I don't know.
Okay. David Love?
Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
That's the name, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Colin Foster. The Oxford English Reference Dictionary defines autocracy as absolute government by one person, democracy as a system of government by the whole population, and aristocracy as government by the nobility or a privileged group. Who then is in charge when an ochlocracy is in place?
Old people.
No. Olivia Woollley.
The mob.
The
Crowds.
mob. It's mob rule, yes indeed, from the Greek ochlos, meaning mob. David Love. The act of naming all 32 points of the compass, starting from due north and moving in a clockwise direction, is called what?
Directional excess.
It would amount to that, but that's not the phrase I have in mind. No, does anybody know? Nobody. I think you'll recognize the phrase, although like me, you probably didn't know this is what it meant. Boxing the compass is the one. Olivia Woollley, it's your turn for a piece of music, and here's the overture to a Mozart opera. All you have to do is name the opera.
The Magic Flute.
No. Peter Baber.
Don Giovanni.
It is Don Giovanni the Libertine Punished, which means we've come to the end of this 9th heat of Brain of Britain, and the final scores are Olivia Woollley 6, Peter Baber 8, David Love 10, Colin Foster 14. And so Colin Foster goes through to the semi-finals, which start in a few weeks' time. Congratulations to him. We'll be making another visit to Salford before the series is out, but we'll be in London again next week. I hope you'll be able to listen. Thanks for joining us today, and goodbye.